Von Decker here. Now, I just wanted to go over this because I thought it was very interesting and compelling. What if Anakin actually won the fight on Mustafar? That whole engagement would have turned out differently, but we all know the reason why he actually really did lose. Well, did he really lose? Was it all because of Anakin's fault? Was it because of his ambition, his eagerness? I don't think it was. I think someone was behind the scenes pulling all the strings, and they wanted Anakin to suffer dearly. Okay, so Anakin Skywalker lost the fight on Mustafar to Obi-Wan because he was overwhelmed by his own fear and rage. He was so consumed by his anger that he allowed his emotions to cloud his judgment and take control over him, which ultimately led to his defeat. Obi-Wan was able to keep his emotions in check and focus on the fight, which allowed him to take advantage of Anakin's weakened state and defeat him. Anakin's loss was a result of him being unable to stay composed and allowed his rational mind to take control. Okay, so that's basically what the storyline goes out, and that's what everyone already knows about it. What if that didn't happen? What if someone actually was behind the scenes, watching from a far distance this fight, giving Anakin the strength to go one-on-one with Obi-Wan? The thing is that I believe it was Sidious controlling it. Sidious was giving Anakin some of his power, the dark side. As he was giving Anakin some of the dark side's power, that's why Anakin was using more than brute force in order to try to defeat Obi-Wan. Now, Anakin, basically, in one of the shots, he was trying to disarm Obi-Wan. The way he was going to disarm Obi-Wan was a similar, same exact way how he was going to disarm Count Dooku. Cut off his hands, and then take his lightsaber and do the rest. Kill him, you name it. He was going to do the exact same thing. Obi-Wan was unconscious at that time, so Obi-Wan was even aware of that moment, of what happened. I believe that someone manipulated that small little part, that scene right there, where Anakin tried to disarm Obi-Wan's lightsaber right there. If Anakin would have disarmed Obi-Wan's lightsaber, he could have done the exact same thing that he did to Count Dooku. That's why I believe that could happen. And Darth Sidious, he does not care about any of his apprentices. I mean, Count Dooku was one of his main apprentices during the, I guess you could say, Clone Wars. The Clone Wars was a huge, big thing for him. But as for Count Dooku, he always thought that Count Dooku was basically just, I could say, expendable. He thought Count Dooku was expendable. His main objective, his main goal was always Anakin Skywalker. But he did fear that eventually Anakin Skywalker would become more powerful enough to kill Darth Sidious, because he did say that to Padme. Now, during their final fight, Obi-Wan had the higher ground, and Anakin heard this story from Obi-Wan many times. When Obi-Wan was fighting Darth Maul, Obi-Wan had the lower ground. He did a flip over Darth Maul's head, landed, and struck him in half. He didn't kill Darth Maul. We already know that because of the Clone Wars. He didn't kill Darth Maul, but he sure defeated him. So that's my thing right there. Anakin could have taken the blow. So I believe that there's only one area where Darth Sidious allowed Anakin's power to fade away, the dark side to fade away. That was the moment when he was about to disarm Obi-Wan, just like he disarmed Count Dooku. Darth Sidious had to be there and to stop that movement, that control, at that speed, that pace right there. He had to stop it for some reason. Why? Because he wanted the fight to go on and last long. He wanted the fight to last long where Anakin could feel the pain and Anakin could feel the hate and the anger, so that he will be focusing on his expectations on killing Obi-Wan, only solely on Obi-Wan, and making him hating the Jedi even more and serving the Empire to its full max computer ability. So here's my story and my take, my little theory on it. Once upon a time, there's a powerful Sith Lord known as Darth Sidious. He was the mastermind behind the Galactic Empire and had been planning his ultimate takeover of the galaxy for years. One of his closest allies and the powerful Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker, Sidious had great respect for Anakin's strength and power and had often used him as a pawn in his schemes. Let me remind you, Anakin did tell Padme that he was strong enough to kill the Sith Lord, kill Palpatine. He did say that. Well, if Palpatine actually overheard that from a far distance, Anakin say that, and he thought that Anakin was a threat, and now he needed Anakin to, well, let's just say that, not be his prime self anymore. He needed to create a whole different creation so that Anakin could be fixated on someone else, because Anakin's one of his main goals was to restore the Jedi Order in his own eyes, and also to kill Palpatine, the Sith Lord, Darth Sidious. Okay, so one day Darth Sidious hatched a plan to have Anakin battle against his former friend and mentor Obi-Wan Kenobi. Sidious had a plan to use the battle to his advantage, and so he instructed Anakin to lose the fights, but Anakin didn't know it at the time. Anakin was reluctant to do this at first. He was inside Anakin's mind as soon as Anakin's eyes glowed golden, I guess you could say yellow, as a Sith Lord. He was inside Anakin's head almost during the whole fight. He could read Anakin, he could sense Anakin's thoughts, like he always sensed it, especially in the conflict of when Luke Skywalker actually confronts them, both of them. When Darth Vader always says that, Darth Sidious says, I can feel your anger. I know you want to strike me down. That's mind probing. That's the dark side. Mind probing is getting inside someone's mind without their consent, without even their knowledge, and knowing their anger. Darth Vader did that many times to his own son, Luke Skywalker. Now, he told Anakin that if he won the fight, it would only strengthen Obi-Wan's resolve and make it harder for the Sith to defeat the Jedi in the long run. Anakin eventually agreed to lose the fight, and he and Obi-Wan began their battle on the planet Mustafar. Now, Anakin did not know at this moment that he was going to have his legs chopped off and get burnt to a crisp from the lava. He didn't know about that part. Sidious knew all about the part. Sidious knew that he wanted Anakin to suffer badly. He wanted to make it look like it was all Obi-Wan's fault, so that he could stay fixated and keep his anger on all Jedis, especially Obi-Wan. He wanted his payback. He wanted his revenge so much on Obi-Wan, his former master and his former friend. Now the two fought fiercely, but in the end, Anakin lost the battle. Obi-Wan emerged victorious, and Darth Sidious had succeeded in his plan. Anakin was devastated by his defeats, and the events that followed on Mustafar only added to his plan. By the end of the day, Anakin had lost both of the battles and his own home planet of Tatooine. But Darth Sidious' plan had worked, and the Galactic Empire was well on its way to becoming a powerful force in the galaxy. So that's my theory, that's my take on it. I believe Palpatine was in the shadows controlling the fights. He was giving Anakin the dark side of the strength. Dark side and his own power to boost Anakin's strength up, because Obi-Wan was the master basically, but obviously the student can overpass the master too. But then again, they're in even match, so I could say that for a fact of the matter is, and it was going to be difficult. So Sidious had to loan some of his power to Anakin, and when he no longer didn't add any of his power to Anakin anymore, he allowed Anakin to suffer dearly and very, very badly. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this little theory video. If you guys are new, subscribe to the channel as always, and yes, of course, I'll see you all in the next one.